Hi guys, Lynn Cox here, stress and performance anxiety expert. Anyway, I just wanted to hop on today. I won't be posting this until tomorrow, but it is Monday today. And I think a lot of eyes in Canada and actually many other countries have been on the funeral of the Queen. And so it just brought me to a couple of things I wanted to talk about in terms of death and life purpose and some fears and anxieties that people can commonly have around that. So, I wasn't a huge follower of the monarchy, however, Queen Elizabeth did have she was known for a few things. So I have seen a lot of the media coverage or social media posts regarding her. And a couple of the words that consistently come up in relation to her and her character are words like service and that she did her duty. Also, that she had a great sense of humor. I have heard those descriptions used frequently. And so it brings me to the point of, how we think about our lives and our legacies and some fears and anxieties that people have. So many people can be nervous around the potential of their death, well, their guarantee of their death. We're all going to experience that at some point in some way. And there are many reasons for having a fear of that. Some people fear the death of loved ones, those close to them, more often than they fear their own. But with people who fear death, often they fear it because they maybe feel like they wouldn't have lived their life to their fullest potential or reached their fullest potential or really pursued those things that are important to them. So it just brings me to this. I love this little book called Why. I know one of the authors here, Sean O'Leary. He's a clinical psychologist, as well as a spiritual leader, as well as a mathematician. So it's a really great book, and it all has to do with what your life is telling you about who you are and why you're here. And one of the first exercises in this book is for people to consider what would they like their epitaph to read in like 1 to 2 sentences. So thinking about that, thinking about, as we've seen in the example of Queen Elizabeth, what are those few key character traits and characteristics about yourself that you would most love for people to remember you by when you do pass away? So as I said, we keep hearing the same words and phrases describing her, a sense of duty, a sense of humor, etc. So what are those things that you would most like to be remembered for? And as an exercise, just to jot that down quickly in 1 sentence. And the first things that come to mind will likely be exactly what it is that's most important to you. And I'm going to hazard a guess that it has nothing to do with, really kind of specific things around your profession. They typically have to do more with other people or how authentic of a person that you've been. So I have personally given this some thought. I'm pretty clear on it. And I do live my life in an effort to exemplify those quality traits and characteristics that I would like people to remember me for. It's kind of funny though, because, it is really important to remember that it's not other people's opinions about you that are most important, but this kind of an exercise can just help to guide our behaviors and our decisions and how we manage our lives, and that can give us more of a sense of meaning and purpose and control over our lives. So just giving some thought to what would you like people to remember you for? Top 2, 3 kind of major things. And, I'm a follower of Stoic philosophy, and the Stoics, they were big on always keeping the fact that we are dying from the moment we are born in mind, to help guide our behavior, to help lead us to living a life that's more purposeful and meaningful for ourselves. And, some people might feel a little queasy about that. A lot of people do have a fear or an anxiety over death. But it can be a very empowering practice to remember that from the moment we're born, we're on our way to dying. And so that can help narrow your focus on what's important to you, who you want to be, how you want to be in this world. And from a stress and anxiety perspective, it helps put things into perspective. Less of the quote unquote little daily things that might bother some of us tend to seem much less significant when you kind of take that broader view. Sorry, that's Jimmy crying in the background. He's wanting some attention. So when you're able to kind of step back and take that broader view, some things can seem like they're, less of a reason to feel stress, to feel anxiety. So from a performance anxiety perspective, so many people do have a very debilitating fear of presenting in public speaking. But if you're looking at, okay, I've got to get up and present for this meeting and how you feel about it. But if you kind of have that bird's eye view of, I know that I'm on my way to death from the moment I'm born, what's really important to me, it can really, really shift your perspective. So those are just a few thoughts that I have in light of, world events and the Queen's, death and funeral today. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.